This moment right here changed not just this season, but potentially the future of the Denver Nuggets. When Nikola Jokic went down with a serious injury for the first time in his NBA career, most of us thought the Nuggets would be in serious trouble. And that trouble only looked worse when Jonas Valanciunas got injured the very next game. So with no Cam Johnson, no Nikola Jokic, no Jonas Valanciunas, everyone was looking towards Jamal Murray to keep the Nuggets afloat during this period of time. What we didn't expect was these injuries might have changed the future of this entire franchise. Because with the opportunity to take more shots, have more responsibility, and go from an afterthought on offense to a focal point on offense, the Denver Nuggets might have found themselves a star, a 23-year-old star.
Head and shoulder fake, the fade, elementary. Clock again, it's Watson over Embiid for two.
Because ever since Jokic's injury just before New Year's Day, Peyton Watson has taken the responsibility upon himself to showcase what he is capable of, averaging over 24 points, nearly 6 rebounds, and over 2 assists per game in those 5 games. And it was the most recent game in Boston, against statistically the best team in the NBA over the last month, in which Watson showed this isn't a fluke. We might be watching a future star on a team with the biggest superstar of all. Because walking into TD Garden and dropping 30 points, hitting 3 after 3 after 3 is no regular feat. And what hasn't been regular about Peyton Watson over the last 5 games isn't just the scoring, it's how he's been doing it. I want you to watch this play right here, as he sizes up Hauser, gets the little screen from Najee, and then just buries the fadeaway jumper. It might look simple, but this is something we have seen more and more of over the last week. And honestly, the fact it does look simple is a testament to how confident Peyton Watson is now playing, that he can casually walk in to those kind of shots. And if you want to see a little more than just a simple fade going to his left, how about this time against the DPOY? And P-Watt just puts the moves on him, crossing one way, back the other way, and that is so tough. Or this time against Embiid, the cross and the step back to the right. Like I said, the key word is comfort. How comfortable Peyton Watson looks taking these kind of shots. How comfortable he looks on a play like this where he has Quentin Grimes up top. He drives past him, and with Embiid in front of him, the floater with his right hand going left. Guys, that is what stars do right there. And Peyton Watson is showing flashes of being a star. And the reality is, Peyton Watson was already having a good season prior to these 5 games. In fact, I had considered making a video on P-Watt before this happened. But in a lot of those games, most of his offense was coming through Nikola Jokic. It was a result of playing off Jokic and finding opportunistic baskets around the rim, improving his finishing and his timing, getting a lot of easy buckets off of Jokic. And at the time, it might have seemed like he was a product of Jokic offensively. Now we are seeing he was just finding ways to succeed within an offense built around the greatest player ever. Now we are seeing when you take out Nikola Jokic, yes, he might lose some of those easy buckets, the handle, the pull-up shooting, the confidence to take players one-on-one off the dribble. That is something he just didn't have a chance to show, not just because of Nikola Jokic, but with Cam Johnson, Tim Hardaway Jr., all of these players who have missed games during this stretch of time. And I will say, we had seen flashes of this before. There had been glimpses. But when I say glimpses, it was once every 10 games Peyton Watson would pull out these kind of shots. Now we're seeing it multiple times a game. And I think what has impressed me the most hasn't just been the mid-range shooting or pull-up jumpers. What we haven't seen is his handle look this good. Is his confidence be this high? Is his ability to take players off the dribble so consistently? This is something that is a revelation right now. And there was no better example of that than late in the game against the 76ers, where Pickett kicked it to P-Watt and watch him blow straight past Grimes, the low pickup, and with the defense collapsing on him, look at the presence of mind to find Zeke for three. And you are starting to see him understand the pace at which he can play at. Yes, he has all of the athleticism in the world. Yes, he can catch lobs, he can get in the dunker spot, he can get out in transition, but at 6'8", with the handle he has, he can also dissect a defense in the mid-range. He can also get downhill and hit floaters against Joel Embiid. He can even playmake as well. Like here where he gets the handoff from De'Ron Holmes, gets around the help from Maxey, drawing Embiid, and then finding Pickett. And when you mix in this kind of on-ball creation with what we are going to see next to Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray off the ball, this is crucial for the Denver Nuggets. I know everyone thinks the Nuggets offense is just unstoppable because of what those two guys can do, but we saw it last playoffs against the OKC Thunder when the Thunder schemed against the likes of Brown, Westbrook, Watson, and even MPJ to beat them. It worked. Now having this version of Peyton Watson just adds a different dynamic when defenses are trying to scheme against this team. And the thing is, like most players we see in the NBA, Peyton Watson himself knew what he was capable of, even if not everyone believed him. Now that the opportunity was presented to him, we are starting to see what he is capable of. And what I haven't told you, and you might not know if you don't pay close enough attention to the Denver Nuggets, is this was never supposed to be Peyton Watson's strength. Because from the moment he burst onto the scene for the Nuggets, it was for one reason and one reason only.
Seconds to go.
I remember in his first season, where he had barely played all season long, in a game against the Warriors, he ended up with not one, not two, but 3 blocks, all against Steph Curry. And every single one of them made you stop and sit up and think, what are we watching defensively? At 6'8", with length, with explosiveness, with timing, you see him get some of the most ridiculous shots you could see from a non-big man. And don't think just because he has more offensive responsibility now that he stopped playing defense. Oh no. Just like here where he's guarding Pritchard on an island, he stays with him before Pritchard gives it up to Walsh, and P-Watt is there to block Walsh at the rim. Or from the game against Philadelphia, which was just absurd. Look where Peyton Watson is on this play. In help position on the drive for Maxey. And for most players, when you were doing this, you were kind of giving up that 3-point shot to VJ. Peyton Watson is not most players, because he forces the pass and then somehow gets out there and blocks VJ at the 3-point line as well. The Denver Nuggets might have a guy capable of doing that defensively, also capable of giving you 20 points a night and hitting pull-up jumpers off the dribble at 6'8". This is scary for the rest of the NBA. And the Denver Nuggets better get ready to pay Peyton Watson a lot of money.